Hi. Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Martin and I'm here with
Start the intro.
Right,
So, today,
I'm sorry. Okay.
I keep thinking I'm on my own channel. It's your turn to introduce.
Okay. So today we are going to be doing 10 or 5 creepy urban legends that are fake.
Not
Well,
necessarily.
they're legends.
Right, I'm gonna read the first one. It's called Carmen Winstead. Okay, so a disclaimer is that this is a hoax. Just so you know, it is an urban legend. So, ready? So this is the story of Carmen Winstead. This is the story that people are getting. She was pushed. About 6 years ago in Indiana, Carmen Winstead was pushed down a sewer by 5 girls in her school trying to embarrass her in front of her school during a fire drill. While she didn't submerge, the police were called. They went down and brought up 17-year-old Carmen Winstead's body. The neck broke, hitting the ladder, and then side concrete at the bottom. The girls told everyone she fell, and they believed them. And the fact is that 2 months ago, 16-year-old David Gregory read this post. Apparently it's a fact, but okay.
That is a fact.
It is in the example bit of the urban legend, so maybe they're just saying it's a fact. 2 months ago, 16-year-old David Gregory read this post and didn't repost it. When he went to take a shower, he heard laughter from his shower. He started freaking out and ran to his computer to repost it. He said goodnight to his mom and went to sleep. 5 hours later, his mom woke up in the middle of the night because of a loud noise. David was gone. That morning, a few hours later, the police found him in the sewer. His neck broke and his face skin peeled off. Can I just tell you?
Yeah, this is fake.
They thought it was from...
If this gets sent to you, do not panic because it's fake.
This is from a serial killing, and then they made this and says that he didn't repost it. His mum didn't do anything. He did say goodnight to his mum. His mum didn't find any letters. David Gregory is the name, and the mother says that this is a hoax.
So if you get this voicemail or email on your computer,
I
or
got a
your phone,
voicemail.
It's fake, so don't panic. It's not.
Do you want to listen to the voice level?
Hi, my name is Carmen Winstead. I'm 17 years old. I am very similar to you. Did I mention to you that I'm dead? A few years ago, a group of girls pushed me down a sewer hole to try and embarrass me. When I didn't come back up, the police came. The girls said that I had fell and everyone believed them. The police found my body in the sewer. I had a broken neck and my face was torn off. Send this message to 15 people after you listen. The whole message if you value your life. A boy called David received this message. He just laughed and deleted it. When he was in the shower, he heard laughing. My laughter. He got really scared. Rushed to his phone to repost this message. But he was too late. The next morning, his mom entered his bedroom and all she found was a message written in his blood saying, "You will never have him back. No one has found his body yet because he is with me." A girl
Which is a
called
lie.
Charlotte received this message and she immediately sent it to 25 people, 10 more than required. I still watch over every second of her life to make sure that she is safe and to keep her and everyone close to her out of danger. Send this to 15 people in the next 5 minutes if you don't want your fate to be the same as David's. Your time starts now. The story is true. You can research it on Google.
And we did research on Google, and it's not true, it's a
It is a
hoax.
hoax.
So there's your first story. Now Martin's going to go on to the second story, which is...
Suicide Squad. This one is a very sick and brutal one. It is about an episode of SpongeBob, and basically there was frames in this that were pictures
Disturbing. Never
of
mind. No,
children.
never mind. That...
Alright,
Right, this is from somebody's point of view, so read it
where?
from here.
I was an intern at Nickelodeon Studios for a year in 2005 for my degree in animation. It wasn't paid, of course. Most internships aren't, but it did have some perks beyond education. To adults, it might not seem like a big one, but most kids at the time would go crazy over it. Now, since I worked directly with editors and animators, I got to view the new episodes days before they aired. Can you read that? I can't read that.
Yeah,
I
I'll
think
do
I need
it.
glasses or something
Right.
because I can't read. Sorry guys.
So, I'll get right to it without giving much unnecessary details. They had very recently made the SpongeBob movie and the entire staff was somewhat sapped of creativity. So it took them longer to start up the season, but the delay lasted longer for more upsetting reasons. There was a problem with the Series 4 premiere that set everyone and everything back for several months. Me and 2 other interns were in the editing room along with the lead animators and sound editors for the final cut. We received the copy that was supposed to be the fear of a Krabby Patty and gathered round the screen to watch. Now, given that it isn't final yet, animators often put up a mock title card, sort of an inside joke for us. With Phony, oftentimes upload titles such as Never Mind That, instead of Rockabye Bivalve, when SpongeBob and Patrick adopt a sea scallop. Oh my god. Nothing particularly funny, but work-related chuckles. So when we saw... How does that work? What's your story? So when we saw the title card, Squidward's Suicide, we didn't think it more than a morbid joke. One of the interns did a small throat laugh at it. A happy-go-lucky music plays as it is normal. The story began with Squidward practicing his clarinet, hitting a few sour notes like normal. We hear SpongeBob laughing outside and Squidward stops, yelling at him to keep it down as he has a concert that night and needs to practice. SpongeBob says okay and goes to see Sunday with Patrick. I love how we're talking about a TV show here. A kids' TV show. The bubble splash screen comes up and we see the ending of Squidward's concert. This is when things began to seem off. While playing, a few frames repeat themselves, but the sound doesn't. At this point, the sound is synced up with the animation, so yes, that's not common. But when he stops playing, the sound finishes as if the skip never happened. There's a slight murmuring in the crowd before they begin to boo him. Not normal cartoon booing that's common in the show, but you could very clearly hear malice in it.
What? What's malice?
I don't know. Squidward's in full frame and looks visibly afraid. The shot goes to the crowd with SpongeBob in centre frame, and he too is booing. Very much unlike him. That isn't the oddest thing though. What is odd is that everyone had hyper-realistic eyes, very detailed. Clearly not shots of real people's eyes, but something real, a bit real more than CGI. The pupils were red. Some of us looked at each other, obviously confused, but since we weren't the writers, we didn't question its appeal to children yet. The shot goes to Squidward sitting on the edge of his bed, looking very forlorn. The view out his porthole window is a night sky, so it isn't very long after the concert. The unsettling part is that at this point there is no sound. Literally no sound. Not even the feedback from the speakers in the room. It's as if the speakers were turned off, though their status showed them were working perfectly. He just sat there, blinking, in this silence for about 30 seconds, then he started to sob softly. He put his hands, tentacles over his eyes, and cried quietly for a full minute more. All the while, a sound in the background very slowly growing from nothing to barely audible. It sounded like a slight breeze through a forest. The screen slowly begins to zoom in on his face. By slow, I mean it's only noticeable if you look at 10 shots, seconds apart, side by side. His sobbing gets louder, more full of hurt and anger. The screen then twitches a bit, as if it twists on itself. For a split second, then back to normal. The wind through the trees sound gets slowly louder and more severe, as if a storm is brewing somewhere. The eerie part is this sound, and Squidward's sobbing sounded real. And as if it wasn't coming from the speakers, but as the speakers were holes, the sound was coming from the other side. As good as the sound as the studios like to have, they don't purchase the equipment to be that good to produce sound of that quality. Below the sound of the wind and sobbing, very faint, something sounded like laughing. It came at odd intervals and never lasted more than a second, so you had a hard time pinning it. We watched this show twice. Why?
So, I'm going to say something.
So pardon me if things sound too specific, but I had time to think about them. After 30 seconds of this, the screen blurred and twitched violently, and something flashed over the screen, as if a single frame was replaced.
Right, so we're going to edit in a video here, right? And it's going to be the actual video of this.
No,
Okay.
put it in the end.
You want to read it all, yeah? It's going to take ages.
Yes.
Just go down and...
No, this is very important.
Right, that's fine.
The lead animation editor paused and rewound frame by frame. What he saw was horrible. It was still a photo of a dead child. He couldn't have been more than 6.
Stop.
The face.
I don't know. I've never read this, and me reading this now is giving me chills.
The face was mangled and bloodied, one eye dangling over his upturned face popped. He was naked down to his underwear, his stomach crudely cut open and his entrails lying beside him. He was laying on some pavement that was probably an old... Right guys, I might not actually be able to show this. I'll need to watch it myself. Can I just stop this for a second? I need to watch. This is suitable for use to watch. I'm not going to read any more. This is actually scary.
Right, so we're not going to put in the full video. We'll put in just a little clip. That'll be in right now.
Ladies and gentlefish, Bikini Bottom's Community Rec Center is proud to present Squidward Tentacles.
You think I'm gonna be sick?
Boo! You stink!
Okay, so you just watched that. It's creepy.
This isn't the original.
That wasn't the original.
They call it original, but I'll need to just download that off of YouTube after I didn't like that. So,
Next one. Bye. Oh, I should have read the pictures.
So,
Okay, so this legend is called Under the Bed. So, and it's this started with this one. A couple checks into a hotel and have to put up with a foul odour in their room all night. They called the staff to complain, and somebody figures out the stench is coming from the bed. Now, there is no way that this scenario is going to have a good ending. You're almost hoping at that point it'll turn out to the last guest just get drunk and pooped behind the headboard. But no. The staff take off the mattress and discover the couple has been sleeping over the rotten body of a dead girl who had been stuffed in the box spring.
Can I just say-
stuffed in the box spring?
this is true. Here we go. Let's see what happens.
So the truth, this actually happened in Las Vegas, also in Kansas City, and what's that?
It's a state.
MO, I don't know what state it is, and Atlantic City, New Jersey, and several times in Florida, California. Florida and California. And well, let's just say that in or under the bed in the hotel room seems to be a fairly popular destination for the recently deceased. It makes sense if you think about it. The closet and under the bed are the two most popular places to hide just about anything. So it's not surprising a hell of a lot of corpses end up there as well. In fact, the odds are pretty good that at least one guy has killed a
Prostitute.
family friend to the channel
Excuse me, Jack
Hey.
the Ripper.
and tried to stuff her under the bed, only to find there was already another body there.
That is so bad. He'd be like, it's not me.
The strangest part isn't that the bodies wind up in such a terrible hiding place. Killers often aren't the type to plan ahead. No, the strange thing is that in almost every story, sleep part of, or mostly in cases the entire night on top of the corpses before reporting it. Most people will know if they complain and detect that someone might have smoked a cigarette in their room 4 months ago. Not these people. They have slept inches above an oozing heap of rotten human flesh, rather than inconvenience hotel management by asking for a new room. Or at least...
Right, okay, it's me now. This one is called Realistic Decoration. Never mind them. The legend. What was thought to be your typically charming Halloween decoration depicting a lynched woman hanging from a tree turns out to be a genuine suicide. That's very nice. Oh my. I cannot show this.
That is very graphic. Oh my, oh my.
I cannot show this.
Right.
I can't show that. I can't show that in the video. I can't even show that in the video.
Don't put that on. Right, just keep reading. Oh my god.
It's
It's a
actually.
picture of the woman that's actually dangling from the tree.
She's hanging. She's
I don't blame
actually
people
hung.
for thinking it's a Halloween costume or a Halloween Halloween decoration because look, it looks like a
A dummy.
What's that called to scare us crows? Because look,
Scarecrow.
right,
Right. Oh my god, it's so graphic. In the town of Frederica, Delaware, a 42-year-old woman, perhaps distraught by the fact that she lived in Delaware, hung. Oh, that's racist.
oh,
It's her townist. Hung herself from a tree near a busy road on a Tuesday night. I thought she was on a Saturday night. I thought she might have been drunk. The body managed to hang there until the next day and was viewed by many unwitting or perhaps retarded spectators before somebody realised it wasn't a decoration and finally called the
what is that
police.
sign say? There's a sign up there. Is there a sign? Oh, she got a bucket in her hand.
I don't know what it says.
Is that really?
She's got a sign on her.
Aye, and she's got
It's an actual dead body and it looks like it was ages ago because of the black and white.
picture.
Once again, it's a lack of complaints from passers-by that amaze us. Even if the hanging thing wasn't a body, it was something that looked exactly like one and would be considered an extremely distasteful Halloween decoration, unless you put on a wacky witch's costume before doing the deed. With the political correctness these days, you would have expected two special city council meetings and 30 letters to the editor within the first 10 minutes of someone seeing it.
That's ridiculous.
We can't help but wonder if the person who eventually called the police hadn't bothered, how much longer would the body have hung there? This happened 5 days before Halloween, and 5 days of decomposition to the equation, and suddenly you have something a lot more terrifying. Also, did the woman plan this? She knew what time of year it was and intentionally hung herself in a public place. Did she want her corpse to blend in with the bedsheet ghosts and stuffed witches around the neighbourhood? If so, it sounds like she may have been a fascinating person.
Oh!
The next one.
Right, mash up.
Right guys, so Martin can't read this, so I'll just do it myself. So this is called Buried Alive, and I've heard about this before, but let's go. So, the legend. Some poor schmuck is committed to his or her eternal resting place, even though they aren't quite ready to take that final dirt nap. Scratch marks are later found on the coffin lid along with other desperate signs of escape. The truth. This not only happened, but back in the day it happened with alarming regularity. In the late 19th century, William Tebb tried to compile all the instances of premature burial from medical sources of the day. He managed to I've lost where I am. He managed to collect 219 cases of near premature burial, 149 cases of actual premature burial, and a dozen cases where a dissection or embalming had begun on a not yet deceased body.
Disturbing.
Now, this may seem ridiculous, but keep in mind, this was an era before doctors such as the esteemed Dr. Gregory House gained the ability to solve any ailment within 42 minutes. If you went to the doctor with the flu in these days, he'd likely cover you in leeches and prescribe you heroin to suppress your cough. Their only method for determining if a person had died.
Why would you do something heroin if they had the flu? Keep reading, I don't even care.
Their only method for determining if a person has died was to lean over their face and scream, "Wake up!" over and over again.
Imagine waking up to somebody screaming in your face,
Wake up!
and then you woke up, but you were in a coma.
That's
and
me.
they didn't know that.
That's me every school morning. If you didn't react, they buried you.
I'm so glad I live in 2017. 18
The concern over being buried alive back then was so real that the must-have hot ticket item for the wealthy and paranoid were safety coffins that allowed those inside to signal to the outside world, usually by ringing a bell or raising some type of flag. That's they should do that now. They should do.
I've got something to say. Do you know Saved by a Bell was back in the olden days? It was made up because
Which
she used to
my
have a
mum's
bell.
my mum's kept shooting me. I think. No, right, but
And Saved by the Bell means because if you get buried alive, there was a pipe that comes through your coffin and that goes up that gives you air, and you ring your bell and they can hear it, and then they save you. Saved by the Bell.
should they awake 6 feet under? Though answering the bell sounds like a good way to get ambushed by a zombie if you ask us. Unfortunately, safety coffins aren't in vogue anymore. So if you're all at the cemetery and hear a muffled voice calling out, "Okay guys, joke's over, let me out," it might be a good idea to inform someone with a shovel quickly. Of course, that last sentence was merely... there's no way something like this could still happen today. Oh, well, except for this story about a Belgian man.
Venezuelan? Oh
I
my.
don't give a crap, I can't go countries, right? Waking up during his autopsy. On second thought,
What? Imagine waking up and naked in one of these wee metal tables with something wrapped in your feet and a bag over your face.
On second
that's
thought-
happened in a mummy, sorry.
on second thought, you might want to consider adding a line in your will that states you're going to be buried with a gas powdered organ in your casket where you go.
What?
When you go.
Okay, just kidding. How's that done?
And there, somebody else wrote a comic about it. Deck C, the Titanic.
Is that 5?
So let's think. We had Carmen Winstead. We had Suicide Squidward.
We had the hanging one and that one.
We had. Right, we need one more. See you guys in the next one. So who's reading this?
You.
Right. So this is called The Bunny Man, and it's real, and it's a massacre. And help me, I didn't know this. The legend of Virginia's Bunny Man might sound like a cute tale of rabbits and whimsy. It's anything but. In reality, the true story of the Bunny Man is one forged from indices, they say, mystery and violence.
Index and state and mystery and violence.
Long have the tales of the Bunny Man Bridge floated around the towns of northern Virginia, and the stories always change a little in the telling. What we do know, however, is that some urban legends turned out to be true, and there really was a man inspired the rest of this grisly urban legend. There are many Virginia urban legends out there, but what sets this one apart is that it's a mix of many genres. It's a ghost story, it's a true story, there's a geographical mark on a map that you can visit, and what?
I know.
Is it on Google Maps?
Possibly. Yeah.
Well, we'll need to say
Just read
this.
it first and then we can put it in.
And there are even copycats out there who've kept the stories alive. How much of it is true and how much of it is a myth remains in hot debate. Don't let the name fool you. This story is not for the faint of heart, so read at your own risk. You might want to steer clear of the Bunny Man Bridge. So, unlike many urban legends that have surfaced over the years, this one definitely has a basis in actual events. In 1970, a couple was driving and parked near a train overpass bridge for a moment to get their bearings. As they did this, a mysterious and threatening figure appeared out of nowhere. This figure, according to the police report, yelled and drove the couple away with threats of violence. When the police report was written, the couple said they didn't get a very good look at the person who threatened them. They said he was dressed in white or light clothing and that he might have had something on his head. Over the next few days, weeks, months and years, this report became interpreted as their attacker having rabbit ears.
This is the story.
This is where the story all begins. Everything beyond this is undoubtedly a mixture of truth, speculation, and myth, but that doesn't make the tale any less intriguing.
Oh my.
Let's look a little more in depth at the first time people became aware of the Bunnyman. One night on October of 1970, Air Force Academy cadet Robert Bennett was driving with his fiancée in Northern Virginia. The pair stopped at the 5400 block of Guinea Road in Fairfax, a location near his uncle's house, and they were sitting in their car when things started to get weird. A man dressed in white, supposedly with bunny ears, approached out of the darkness. He began to scream at the couple they were on private property, that he was going to report them to the police and that he'd gotten their license plate number. This would have been merely off-putting except for what he did next. All at once, the man hurled a hatchet right through the windshield of the car, nearly hitting the pair. As you might guess, they quickly sped off to a police station. Hatchet still in the car, Bennett recalls helping pull bits of broken glass out of his date's hair as he explained to the police what had happened. The police later began looking for a man in a bunny outfit, although at that time they couldn't find anyone suspicious in the area. The Bunnyman legend was solidified.
Okay, so that's all we're going to read about that, okay? And now we're going to just put on a quick picture of the Bunnyman Bridge right now.
Can I just tell you some little facts here?
On top of Anne's face.
I'm going to talk about facts. So he was supposedly sent to an asylum before, and he's crazy, and he has an issue with private property. Really, an issue with private property. He supposedly died evading capture. He may have mutilated wild animals. The man may have mutilated his victims' bodies, like chopped them up. His ghost may still haunt the bridge. The couple attacked by the Bunnyman kept his hatchet. Why did the... Oh, there it is.
Oh my god, there's no shot.
No, we'll put it in.
Why? Right on top of Anne's face, straight here. Okay. And now we're going to have just a little picture of the Bunnyman Bridge.
Oh my god, it's illegal to walk on the train tracks there. By the way.
Okay, so if you like this video, also obviously.
And here is some fun stuff about it. So if you enjoyed this video, oh, it's your
It's my
turn.
video. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. And see you. Bye guys.